Hey guys, so it's the question of the age. What if Zelda was a girl? Obviously, it means, it's referring to this. We've got, uh, a very Link looking figure, but it's a girl. Because, people who don't play The Legend of Zelda seem to think that Link is Zelda. But how many dudes do you know named Zelda? Yeah. So it's like, tell me you've never played Zelda without telling me you've never played Zelda. I mean, even at this point, Zelda's been around for almost 40 years, and people are still saying that Link is Zelda. Now, I get it. I totally get it. Uh, it's it's a tricky thing. It's like you have the first Legend of Zelda, right, where you're still playing as Link, and you rescue Zelda. The second game is The Legend of Zelda: Adventures of Link, but it is technically the Legend of Zelda. It's not the first. It's no way by far the first story, but it does kind of give story for why there's so many Zeldas. So if you haven't played the game, Adventure of Link, um, so you start in the Tomb of the Sleeping Princess, and she's still alive, but it's more like a tomb because she's been there a while. She's clearly aged. When she was younger, her brother, along with the wizard, they went to her and demanded to know where the Triforce was, and she was like, "Nope." And so the wizard put her into a deep sleep, and her brother just was like, "Okay, that was, you know what, I done goofed. That was pretty messed up." So he had her taken to the tower, taken there, and he pretty much said that every daughter, every like first daughter who's to be born into the royal family should be named Zelda. So when you see so many Zeldas across this timeline, that's why. Um, even though you have Skyward Sword, you have Zelda there. Uh, this guy kind of like decreed it that every firstborn daughter should be named Zelda. So not only do you have a Zelda sleeping in that where you start out, but then there's the other Hyrule, or because they keep moving Hyrule all over the place. It's kind of like the first game. You're in Hyrule, but it's not. There's nothing there because Hyrule's moved. Um, so there's two Zeldas at one time. So, but that's the Legend of Zelda, really. So I get it's confusing. You have the Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask. Uh, Zelda shows up for like a brief second when you pick up the ocarina. When you get the ocarina back, she shows up in a flashback, and that's it. She's never shown again in the game. But yet it's called The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask. Um, Now there are games where you do get to play as Zelda. Those are far and few. I believe Hyrule Warriors was one of them, even though it's not canon. You still get to play as like Sheik or Zelda or whatever. Super Smash Brothers, obviously. Zelda Sheik, I loved. And then Melee, they are so good. Um, Zelda Wand of Gamelon, those terrible CDI games. There was another one for CDI, Zelda's Adventure. Same thing, terrible game. They're not made by Nintendo, so no one considers them even worth remembering. Spirit Tracks, where Zelda's like this spirit, she actually like has her spirit ripped from her body. She essentially dies. And so she's following Link around as his companion, and she's able to possess things like dark nuts and stuff like that and help him out. It's really, really cool. To have Zelda kind of by your side helping you out for once. Um, but yeah, I do get it. It's confusing, but for people who have any knowledge of Zelda, it's like how I've said even my grandparents know about Mario. My grandparents know the difference between Link and Zelda. They know the difference. My parents know the difference between Link and Zelda. It's like with people with Pokemon. It's like they look at a Pokemon. Is this Pikachu? So I don't know if this is just taking the meme and putting it onto a shirt, but the fedora. Link strolls up to Zelda, my lady. Um, I want Trunk 3PO to wear this at Super Nintendo World. Oh, that would be amazing. I always seen Link as Femlink. I mean, they make him pretty androgynous. Although, freaking Twilight Princess Link is technically ripped. Like, this dude is sumo wrestling Gorons. No power up bracelet, no nothing. He is just his own strength. He has like iron boots, but that just makes him slight, to the ground. But just the fact that Link, with no actual power up, like strength power up, is able to match the strength of Gorons, who are just like these dudes eat freaking rocks. Their biceps are bigger than your freaking head, and these dudes are getting manhandled by Link. If I remember, you as you're going up Death Mountain to get to the mines, you have all these Gorons that are coming down, rolling at you, and you gotta stop them. You've got to use iron boots, otherwise you'll get flung back. So the iron boots just make you heavier. They don't really make you stronger. They just kind of sink you in place. So when they're coming rolling at you, you hop in the iron boots, and you grab them, and he just freaking tosses them behind him. It's like, Link, chill. And then he goes against, I believe, the Goron Elder to make sure he's ready. And same thing, even though Gorons, when they age, they get kind of smaller, they're still extremely powerful. Probably one of the strongest races in Hyrule. And Link's just freaking manhandling them. He's just tossing them aside. It's like, Link, chill. They're Gorons. They don't mean you any harm. But Twilight Princess Link was pretty manly. Not gonna lie, he was manly. So is this one. Gee, it sure is boring around here. My boy, this peace is what all true warriors strive for. I just wonder what Ganon's up to. I wonder what's for dinner. No, these games are CDI games. 3D, 36 years since the original Legend of Zelda, and people still think Link is Zelda. That's amazing, though. I prefer a man's man like Metroid. Yeah, where people think his name, Samus's name is Metroid. Like, no, it's Samus. Samus Aran. This guy is peak male. Big, strong alpha guy. Exactly. Come on, Cannon Boss. Oh. Do they know? I support this 100%. What if cake was actually a lie? Yeah. What if the cake was actually a lie? Because we all know at the end of Portal, that entire time, when GLaDOS said that there'll be cake, I mean, you totally get a cake in the end. So, what if the cake was a lie? John, yes, I know. I'm not stupid. What if Metroid was a girl? You look adorable. They knew what they were doing. And then when they see like Rule 34 stuff, they're like, oh, you can't be doing this to our IP. Like, you kinda did it yourself. But this is a great moment, and I mean, let's admit it, Link does look pretty cute. So for people who are uncultured, so basically he's trying to get into Gerudo Town to go see Riju, because he's trying to, with the Divine Beast and all that. And they won't let him into town because he's a Vo, a male. That's in Gerudo society, a Vo is a male, and a Vi, VAI, is a female. And they don't want Vo in their we don't want none of them Vo in our town. So in order to get around this, Link finds someone who's been able to go in and out of the town undetected because he is garbed in traditional Vi attire. So someone mentions to Link that, oh yeah, you want to get into Gerudo Town, there's a person who might be able to help. And when you first see the person, it's hilarious. but it's like they look convincing, but then you kind of see them from behind and you can see like the 5 o'clock shadow and all that they've got right there. And there's a moment where the wind blows and it blows up the veil a little bit, and Link's like, but he tries it on. And that's what he does. He does like this cute little. It's a great moment. It's a trap. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, but yeah, the Gerudo trying to get into Gerudo Town, and it's funny because it's like, okay, common sense. If this was real, so you can go up to Gerudo Town. There's two guards, and if you're dressed in normal clothes, they'll kick you out and say, "Oh, you're not a want. You know, we are not going to let you in." But then it's the minute you're right in front of them and you change into this girl attire, and they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, come right on in." It's like, do they not see Link taking off his clothes to put this stuff on? Well, there's clearly a male right there, but he's dressed like us, so we'll allow it. And then and if you take one piece of clothing off and pretty much show that you're actually a dude, it's basically like them doing this. How did a Vogue get here? Also, I just want to show this. This is the Desert Voe set. So this is the set for males. While men aren't really allowed in Gerudo Town, there's still the every 100 years a male is born. But they also do sometimes welcome men in society if they prove, because Gerudo admires strength. So if you can prove yourself to them, but after with Ganondorf, it's just like they've shut themselves off. They don't want any males at all. Now, when you get in there, Riju is perfectly fine with you being a male because she knows that, you know, you're Link, you're the hero from 100 years ago, you helped Urbosa, so you're known to her. But everyone else doesn't know that you're the legendary hero. But they do have this set on sale in the town, which I think is hilarious. It's like they don't want girls, dudes in their town, but they have a male set. But like I said, they do admire their Gerudo. They admire strength, which is pretty much why the carpenters in Ocarina of Time were in prison, because they were carpenters, but they weren't exactly the manliest of men. And they would around, so, and that's not me making fun of them. That's actually how they ran in the game. They were like, so the Gerudo see that, they're like, no, we'll take guys, but you have to prove yourselves. Age of Calamity. Yeah, I really like this set. It's really cool. But make Metroid male again. Make Metroid male again. Wind Waker Link. I love the Wind Waker Link because he just was so expressive. He is, though. You look adorable. That big face, almost as bad as Googling Google. What's his name from was it Drawn Together? I forgot his name, but he was basically the Link parody. Person clearly has never played a single Legend of Zelda game. She's lost in the first dungeon. Yeah. Okay, hear me out. No, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I've said numerous times, I have no problem with like femboys, but if they looked like this, if you're saying that, oh, I'm a femboy and this, and you look like me, I'm calling bullshit. I mean, this draws the line. It's like, you know, it blurs that line. It's like, okay, I'm not gay, but uh actually, this makes me think of that painting of Bill Clinton in the dress. He's like, actually, let me hang on so you guys know what I'm talking about. That's that's the one I'm talking about. You guys have seen it, I'm sure. But that's what it reminds me of. Not the same. Link's got his leg in the air, and he's sitting like this rather than like. But yeah, if this comes to me and says I'm a femboy, I'm gonna be like, no. This it starts to make you question things. Like I've said before, I don't mind a good femboy. Link, in this case, is definitely that category. Well, what if? Sigh, more on feminists. Well, I mean, I don't even know it's a feminist shirt. Like I said, it could just be taking the meme and putting it on the shirt. If Zelda was a woman, she still wouldn't F you. What if Samus was a girl? Then Disney must have bought the rights to Zelda. Uh-huh. It's pretty cool cosplay. So this is the Twilight Princess, Zelda and Link. So we've got Zelda right there and Link right there. No, so if this guy had just done the like, actually no, because I think they're actually supposed to be, Zelda cosplaying as Link and Link cosplaying as Zelda, because you can see the shorter blonde hair, but then the longer brown hair that like Zelda would have. So it's actually pretty clever. Twilight Princess was also really, really cool. I mean, Zelda didn't do a whole lot. She did help out in the final battle after you freaking have to fight her. Ganondorf kind of makes her into a puppet and you have to fight her. And then there's the horseback section, which is really, really cool. You're riding on horseback and she's shooting light arrows at Ganondorf. So she helps there. But I think the most amazing moment in the game for her was the moment where she sees Midna is practically dying. Zant exposes Midna to they're Twilight people. They live in Twilight and they're not really supposed to be exposed to the light. So Zant, in his cruelty, exposes Midna to the light of one of the guardians, or one of the light spirits, and she basically death's doorstep. We make our way to Hyrule Castle, up to the tower, and Zelda's there waiting, and she kind of uses her life energy or her, part of the, the Triforce or whatever, and she disappears afterwards. So it's like she gives her life energy or herself to Midna to save Midna's life. I'm like, that's pretty freaking badass. But yeah, but when it comes to Zelda, I've said before, Breath of the Wild Zelda and Twilight, not Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword Zelda, they're the two best Zeldas. They really are. Wind Waker Zelda is pretty cool, or should I say Tetra? Tetra's badass. When you first meet Tetra and she's just like dangling there from the tree, and you're like, oh great, this going to be the Zelda of the game? We're gonna have to save her. Well, later on, spoiler alert, she is Zelda. But she gets herself in that situation. You're like, oh, great. She's going to be like this useless character getting stuck all the time. No, she's badass. And then even in that game, at the end, same thing. Zelda's helping you out. You're maneuvering around the area, running around, and she's trying to line herself up with you to get the light arrow off your shield, because it's a mirror shield at that point. So she's trying to get into a position where she can fire that shot, have it bounce off your shield, and hit Ganondorf. So she's telling you to pretty much, and then once you see it, you do boom, hits him, and then that's when you can finally get him down. So games where you get to play as Zelda, or where Zelda helps out in some kind of way, are really, really cool, because it is The Legend of Zelda. She should be helping out in some kind of way. Also, I just love that shield. You can buy and have these kinds of things made. You can buy heavy, like an actual like Hylian shield, but mainly it's just for like a stick it on the wall. Same thing with the sword. It's like, if you're gonna have it on as cosplay and you're gonna just have it strapped around you, that's fine. But don't try to, because it's actual metal. Some of them are made from actual heavy metal, and that's cute. Now, there's not actually a dress like that, I don't believe, in the game, but there is a wedding in the game with Terrytown. So Bolson, who is building the town, has you go out and get a bunch of people, and one of them is a Gerudo. She goes to the town, and pretty much after everything's complete and the town's finished, we find out that they want Bolson and this Gerudo want to get married. So they have you go to find a someone to officiate the wedding, which is we go to Zora's domain, and there's like, oh yeah, I was a priest before I retired. So priest goes there, they get married, and actually let me pull up that picture because it's actually for a Gerudo in a wedding dress. We've never seen a Gerudo in a wedding dress. It's actually really really pretty. But hang on. All right, so not the best thing, but you got Terrytown, you've got Bolson. This dude cracks me up. You got Link in the back, but here's the Gerudo. And as you can see, because they're not very feminine, they still wear like the female tops, but it's really pretty, really white. Got the gold and like embroidery on it. Got it's really pretty. You know, if it wasn't so blurry and you're seeing it actually in game, it is pretty. Um, but so there's no wedding dress like this. This is modded, but there was actually a wedding in Terrytown. Oh my god, nothing to say except whoever made this is the most low IQ person on the planet. I mean, like I said, I think they're just taking the meme and running with it. That's a trap. Everything out of context. Hitler's final words. That's great. Xander. I think Xander. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. I think it's Xander. It's like Xander, Xander. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. I'll just leave on that. But yeah, I certainly hope it's a meme shirt because if you've been around for long enough and you don't know the difference between Link and Zelda, when even my grandparents know, yeah. So I'm hoping it's a meme. But then again, you know, you have people who again see Pokemon and is like, is this Pikachu? It's like, no, not every Pokemon is Pikachu. Or is this Goku? It's like, no, that's Krillin. Is this Goku? No, that's Frieza. You know, you always have that one name that everybody knows, but they can never actually identify that person. So it's it's like that meme with the, is this a pigeon? And it's like a butterfly. So actually, I made a meme like that because I think Soulja Boy a couple years ago did the same thing, talking about calling Link Zelda, and I made the meme of, you know, I made the, you know, is this Zelda? And it's just a picture of young Link. Um, but yeah, it's Sunday. I saw it. I thought it was hilarious. Because what if Zelda was a girl? Well, then I guess we really would be playing Legend of Zelda. Anyway, like I said, if I was, Link is Nintendo knows what it's doing. I know they like to kind of stay out of certain things, but you know, they make Link androgynous looking and sometimes very feminine for a, you know, I think they know. It's like I said with the Gerudo outfit. They know what they knew it. They knew. You can't tell me that they didn't. Especially when Link did the whole little thing. Yeah, they knew. Uh anyway, that's gonna do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.